Like it's a bad thing, he said. For her, it could be. That was the truth if she shared even half of his yearnings. The exchange is still set for Tuesday? Yes, $1 million. We confirmed this morning. What do they suspect? Callista placed her hands on her hips. They suspect that we suspect nothing. The sedan, a dump of a Chevy, was speeding. 300 yards outside the camp, the car left the narrow dirt highway it had been traveling and made a beeline for the meeting house. The front driver's side tire looked low. The car kept up its pace through the perimeter and came to a skidding stop in front of the smoking men. The door opened and the driver stepped out, slamming the door. Sanso homed in on the frowning face. Here was the denim girl, an outsider born on the inside, where he needed her. Janeal Mikado was wearing jeans and flip-flops, footwear the old-timers would disapprove of. Sanso already loved this child. Her excuse for shoes flapped their way past the group of men. The eldest in the bunch averted their eyes. Sanso had always found this gypsy quirk amusing. Everything above the waist was considered pure and good. A woman could bare her chest and no one would blink. But everything below the waist was considered dirty, impure, taboo. A true gypsy woman should cover it up. The youngest man in the gathering leered and leaned in toward Janeal, saying something that likely only she could hear. Quick as a striking rattlesnake, she jabbed him below his rib cage without breaking stride and proceeded into the meeting house. The man doubled over, holding his stomach, trying to laugh it off. Yes, this girl was going to work out fine. Chapter 2. Janeal Mikado stormed into the meeting house. From the outside, the building looked like little more than what it once had been, a large old barn, abandoned decades ago by an eccentric rancher who died without heirs. Janeal's great-grandfather had purchased the remote property, too arid for successful ranching, at auction for $10,000. The Gypsy Compania, led by Jason Mikado, returned to it every spring and stayed through the summer, doing business with the people of Albuquerque and entertaining narrow-minded tourists who thought gypsies had no identity or culture outside of fortune-telling and magic tricks. For this, Janeal hated the outsiders, the naive gadget. And yet she also loved the outside world, the promise of freedom and choice and opportunity. She toyed daily, hourly, with the idea of leaving this place. If not for her father, she would leave right now, leave him behind with her boyfriend Robert and her best friend Katie, who said they were as curious about the world as she was, but, when pressed, showed only feigned interest in it. They mocked her fascination as nothing more than a girl's childish fantasy, though they were never intentionally cruel. Her father didn't know of the hopes she harbored, nor of the bitterness she sometimes indulged in. It soothed the loneliness of her most adventuresome self. Confiding these thoughts to him would be the same as turning her back on him after all he'd suffered. Of all the people she knew, he was the only one she truly loved. In the deepest, most honest sense of the word love, she understood it was something she couldn't define or identify outside of her relationship with him. Not even the love she bore for Robert Lucan came close. No, she hadn't found the courage to leave yet. It wasn't like she could go off and come home for the holidays, as she heard the gadget her age did. Leaving the Compania would be synonymous with rejecting it and everyone in it. Then they, too, would be free to reject her, finally. Janeal didn't have any misunderstanding as to what the people of this community really thought of her. Not that she needed it, but that gave her one more reason to hate them. They wouldn't allow her to belong if she'd wanted to. Someday she would leave. Someday when she knew she could endure not being welcome here ever again, when she knew her father would be able to endure it too. Inside the building, Janeal hesitated at the sight of Mrs. Markovich, who had appeared yesterday as the Compania prepared for the annual festival.